Welcome to another exciting episode of Business Digest. Today we turn our attention to Botswana Vaccine Institute, a critical player in the fight against animal diseases, not just here at home, but across the region. To help shed more light on this issue, I'm joined by BVI CEO Andrew Madeswi. Madeswi, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Pauline, and good morning to Business Digest viewers.
Thank you for always coming through.
Indeed.
First things first, let's introduce BVI to Botswana. What is BVI and what its mandate as well as its strategy?
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to introduce Botswana Vaccine Institute as a renowned livestock vaccine manufacturer. And as you say, not only for Botswana, but even for the continent. We have been in existence since 1979 to date. And we have a very lovely history from humble beginnings, from desperate times when we had the country facing challenges to export because of foot and mouth disease. And that resulted in our formation because there had to be a solution, a lasting and sustainable solution. And government, I think they had foresight at the time to realize that we need something that can be here and here for the long haul. And that is how we have been around to support the country to export beef. And we did that successfully for Botswana, and eventually the region recognized the importance of vaccination, and we've been supporting the region as well.
So talking about the region, which countries do you export to?
Predominantly, we supply region SADC. I'll name all of the countries in SADC. But of recent, we are also now being able to supply in the East, in the West, and sometimes even in the Middle East. And we've got aspirations to continue to deepen our existence in such markets.
I know BVI is mostly known for the foot and mouth vaccine. What other products do you produce?
Indeed, that's our flagship product, and because that's our mainstay in terms of our revenue. And it was very critical also in terms of the sector that it supports, which is the livestock sector. So mostly, we are recognized for that. But we do have the capability and competence to produce other products. At the moment, we produce a product, CBPP. CBPP is a lung disease, if I may describe it that way. We don't have it as much in Botswana at the moment, but we have had it in some years back, I think in the late 90s, but we were able to eradicate it at the time. But we kept on producing it to safeguard the country in case in any other time in our future we may have the disease. We should be able to support government. But indeed, other countries do have the disease, so we produce to support them. We also have PPR. PPR is also another product that we produce. It's a disease that affects small stock. We also have black leg. Black leg, if you may. And then anthrax. We produce those vaccines to support the livestock industry. So when you classify this type of diseases, they are normally called diseases of economic importance because they affect trade much more than anything. And when we deal with FMD, we are not talking about mortality. That's not what we are scared about, but we are scared about securing trade.
Okay, I understand BVI has its own strategy that they're working on. Let's talk more about the strategy.
Indeed, and I think that's a very good timing. You realize that this week we had media engagement because you guys are a critical stakeholder to share, Botswana company as it is. This is a public company. It's a public good. It's a strategic asset of government. And therefore, we owe it to the public to know what success are we having, what challenges we are having. So we're having that to engage with the media so that they can support to share the news. We have strategy that is, when its eve is coming to an end, called Lepelo Nyamuliepi, where there's a will, there's a way. It was actually recognizing the difficulties and the complexities and the ambitions of this strategy, from where we want to take the organization to where we want to put it. We got mixed shades of performance. But when we started this, we were worried about our financial performance. And we realized that, we need to optimize the current, what we have. How best can we perform? How can we ramp up our productivity? Because for the past years, we were experiencing losses. Before our strategy, we had 2 years of losses. And we are happy that since we embarked on this strategy, we have had consistent 3 years of profitability. So that means that the strategy immediately was able to deal with the challenges of performance. We had all the other issues that affected customers, that affected our processes, that affected our people as well. So we also needed to look ahead in terms of what is it that we need to do. And we realized that we have to invest in areas that will support us in R&D and in vaccine manufacturing. So we have to start now to make such investment. But our effectiveness and efficiencies was also an area that we needed to look at to make sure that we have competent and committed resources within our institution.
Recently at the media briefing, you briefed the media about your financial performance. Kindly share the top line summary for our viewers at home.
Thank you very much. So you'll see that for the 3-year period that we have been, when we started the strategy, as I said, we are coming from a period of losses. Within these 3 years, we have had a year where we have actually had a record revenue, 246 million. That was a record high. Also within these 3 years, we have also had a record high profit of 46 million. That was quite a remarkable performance. Looking at where we were coming from, the losses that we were making were ranging between 27 million to 18 million before we embarked on this particular strategy. So that has been a very pleasing performance, quite decent performance, which actually means that the areas that we prioritize for the strategy were beginning to show from a financial performance. We have just coming out of a year where we were reporting for 2024, where we have made a profit of 11 million and revenue of 162 million. And also just to understand this profit, which seems to be lowering from the other year that it was, is because we have had some other costs that were once-off costs. During this particular year, we were also embarking on a restructuring exercise. That restructuring exercise on its own cost us almost 27 million. So that's a cost. So had we not had to spend 26 million, our profit would have been 26 plus 11. We could have been closer to 40 million that we have been at.
Okay. Thank you so much. We are going for a quick commercial break. When you come back, Mr. Madeswi will share more about BVI's performance.
For more than 50 years, Botswana's success has been the result of a solid and enduring partnership between the Botswana government and De Beers. This has been underpinned by the resilience and commitment of its workforce. The Botswana story is one marked by a careful stewardship, wise investment, and shared prosperity by all stakeholders. Botswana is motivated by its vision of becoming a global benchmark diamond business and is regarded as one of the world's leading diamond producers by value. It currently operates 4 operations: Orapa and Damtsha mines, the Letlhakane mine tailings treatment plant, and Jwaneng mine. Recovered diamonds are sold to the Diamond Trading Company Botswana in Gaborone, one of the world's most sophisticated rough diamond sorting and valuing facilities. After this stage, the diamonds are sold to the De Beers Global Sightholder Sales for aggregation and to the wholly government-owned Okavango Diamond Company, ODC. The diamonds are then sold to the world's leading diamond tears, known as sightholders, to be cut and polished before being sold to jewelry manufacturers both locally and abroad. Botswana is the largest employer in Botswana after the government, with over 5,500 employees and 6,000 contractors. the company recognizes that having a more diverse and inclusive workforce is not only the right thing to do, but also a business imperative. Botswana is guided by the Social Way framework, which establishes social performance principles by delivering a lasting positive contribution to communities, managing risks and impacts. Botswana's vision and values underpin the way it operates. They guide the way it deals with its people and its stakeholders, empowering the company to make life brilliant and turn diamond dreams into reality. One of the company's core values is to conduct business in a manner that upholds the safety and health of its employees, visitors, and contractors, and minimize impact on the environment. Botswana's environmental and safety systems conform to the highest international standards. The game parks surrounding its larger operations are well stocked and protected and are used as popular recreational destinations and for environmental education. Through the significant contribution of Botswana, Botswana is now regarded as a modern economic success story, a country with modest beginnings that has transformed itself into a rapidly developing upper-middle income economy. Even though diamonds are finite, Botswana remains a beacon of hope for Botswana and will continue to be such for the foreseeable future. Botswana, mining diamonds, enriching the nation.
Welcome back. If you are joining us now, we're still talking to BVI. We're talking about their strategy, their plans, and their future outlook. Madeswi, before we went to the break, you also about your strategy as BVI. What are some of the key priority areas for the strategy?
Yes, indeed. Let's get into that. You know, a strategy for me is a plan. We develop a strategy to deal with challenges. We develop a strategy to be able to improve our performance and to also manage the organization in a sustainable manner. So one of the things that we were worried about that we developed this strategy for was about our customers. So we felt that we were not visible enough. We felt that though we have a very good quality product, not so much customers broadly know us. So we are not visible. The brand of BVI was not visible. And I can believe even yourself, you'd say, look, previously I could hear here and then about BVI, but it wasn't really there, you know, top of mind type of a brand.
Yes, true.
So we had to embark on a campaign to ensure that, you know, we get the brand to be known, not only in Botswana, even in other countries, because remember, almost 90% of what we produce, we export. So being visible is beyond the Botswana horizon. And we have done quite a number of activities, making ourselves present in events in the eyes of our customers. And we have had to test, is it working or not? And we can say that we are in a very good progress at the moment. The results are showing that we are almost close to 70% of brand visibility. So that was quite one thing that was very good. The other thing also that we needed to look at was we produce vaccine. It's a good product.
Yes.
The customer, you know, takes it, uses it, and then what? Where does our interest start? Where does our interest end? So we develop what we call a total customer value proposition, such that we can partner with the customer from the beginning when they experience the disease, so that we use our technical expertise to advise and also to assess the situation on the ground, so that when we produce the product to them, we actually know that we are going to produce a fit-for-purpose product. And then we work with them in terms of what is going to be the strategy of vaccination, what will work effectively. We have been doing it for so many times, so we know. So we should be able to add value with our customer. It's also very important that after you have done that, you also review, you know, do your quality assurance to check whether indeed your vaccination has actually worked or not, because that's what we guarantee. So we also work with the customers to be able to do that. Those are some of the things that we have really seen that they have really worked for us. We've been very closer to our customers. We have seen our customers now wanting to engage with us over a long period and entering into contracts because now they value the relationship. But that was without other challenges operationally within ourselves. The other ones that I would like to talk to, we had an environment that was a bit manual to run the business, very archaic processes and system. So we needed to make it easy for our people, make it efficient for the institution. So we had to automate our environment, and we have introduced a system called Sage X3, which is fully operational. So our operation system processes now are on board on Sage X3.
Fair. I understand the FMD contributes almost, is it 86% to your revenue? So why has this product been so dominant, and what risk does it pose to the business, if there is any?
Yes, it is, because we are known for it. So BVI is characterized with FMD. So when you say BVI, people think FMD.
Yes, sir.
For the right reasons, because when we started, that was really the product that we were meant to produce before we got to produce other products. By value, it's a very high value product. So somehow it contributes more monetary. It's a very good thing. We love it, but we can't expect it to be carrying the institution at the levels that you are mentioning, almost 90%, because that's very, very risky. Imagine what is happening now in the country in terms of the economic situation. Immediately the diamond, we had a slump. It's like Botswana can't function without
it.
So for us, we are also sitting on that very same risk. Should anything happen to FMD, BVI would lose the next day. We'll be challenged to survive.
And we don't want that.
And we don't want that. So our ambition is we would like to have these other products, the ones that we currently have, and the ones that are currently under development, to contribute at least 40% of our revenue, so that FMD on its own can contribute 60%. That will assist us to diversify and to minimize the impact that we can have should we have challenges with producing FMD, or for whatever reason is no longer a disease of the same level of challenges that it is at the moment, and countries prioritize other diseases. We should be able to survive. I think we have done well. The performance shows that though it's momentarily growing, but we are seeing improvements from where we used to be with these other products. And we are expecting that there will be more improvements going forward as we onboard new products and we enhance the performance of these other products that we have. So you can see that we've got almost 4 other products that are contributing just about 15%, and then you've got FMD taking the rest. It means that we have to optimize performance of these other products and also bring other impactful products to the ratio.
Okay, so is there demand for those other products?
The demand is there. We need to position ourselves to where the demand is.
All right.
We have successfully done it with FMD.
Yes.
Our view is that we have not so much done well with these other products. We will be seeing in the very, very near future, you will now start to see BVI products on the shelves. At the moment, our products go to governments, which are the ones that administer these products, for the reasons that mostly the governments are the one that we had identified as a profile that we want to focus on. But now going forward, we are going to be seen to be much more into the private market. So that should be able to scale the performance of these products, as that without governments, we now also have another customer segment that we serve.
When do you expect these other non-FMD products to start contributing meaningfully to the company's revenue?
From where we are with the progress that we are making, within a year or two, we should be seeing a significant improvement from where we are. Certainly we should be. What we are doing mostly as well to grow our markets, both within the continent and elsewhere, we are looking at moving much more into the east and the west. And most of these diseases, that's where they are concentrated. When you talk about PPR, it's not so much a disease that troubles SADC. When you talk about CBPP, it's not so much a disease that troubles the countries in SADC. But when you go to the countries in the east and the west, these diseases are prevalent there. And if we raise our eyes there and make sure that we avail these products there, certainly we should be able to improve performance of these products.
I'm sorry I have to cut you short. We're going for a quick commercial break. We'll shed more light when you come back.
Diamonds, The word alone evokes potent symbolism. From the unimaginable power of the forces that create these precious stones, to their unparalleled strength and durability, to their indelible association with the most powerful human emotion, love. Born billions of years ago, diamonds have captivated our imagination throughout human history. Botswana, in particular, has a special place in its heart for this magical stone. Diamonds have assisted its transformation from one of the least developed countries in the world to a glittering success story.
The future of the country looked very bleak before the discovery of diamonds. It was so bleak that some people asked whether we were brave or foolish to want to be independent.
New capital, Gaborone, the national flag is unfurled amidst much enthusiasm. Good luck, Botswana. Our best wishes go with you.
The birth of Botswana's diamond dream, sparked by the discovery of the Orapa pipe by De Beers geologists, came shortly after the country's independence. The second major find by the De Beers prospecting team, Zwaneng Mine, propelled Botswana to becoming the world's leading diamond producer by value. Botswana is the largest private sector employer in the country, and its revenues have played a major role in building Botswana's infrastructure, health, and education sectors. Botswana's contribution to Botswana's economy over the past 5 decades has been significant. It is the major contributor to the national economy, contributing 33% to GDP, 70% to export earnings, and 32% to government revenue. Botswana's long-term focus on the sustainability of its business will maintain the lives of its operations and the communities around which they operate for many years to come. Botswana, mining diamonds and enriching the nation for 50 years.
Welcome back. Madeswi, for decades, BVI has been at the forefront of producing life-saving vaccines for the animals, as well as safeguarding our food security. What are some of the challenges that you've encountered throughout the journey?
Yes, indeed. Typical of a company that has been existing for decades, we have peculiar challenges. We have equipment that has since been installed 40 years ago that currently we are still trying to use.
40
and
years.
you can imagine it's not workable. So we have a challenge of equipment obsolescence. Most of our equipment are outdated. They're very difficult to operate. They're not efficient, and they cost us quite a lot. For us to replace spares, to obtain spares to replace certain parts, it's quite a challenge because you are probably dealing with an equipment that is no longer being produced. That model have been phased out. We are dealing with equipment that makes it difficult to comply with the regulatory regulations and sometimes with standards. We're dealing with equipment that over time is also becoming hazardous to our employees. It's no longer safe. And we're experiencing perennial downtime and loss of production time. So these are huge, huge serious. In as much as we are seeing that we are having decent performance, especially financial, there's a lot that we can do. But we have this challenge of obsolete equipment. We have developed a 5-year replacement plan so that we progressively get out of this situation. It needs to be arrested now, Pauline. If we don't do it now, the sustainability of this institution will be threatened. We would most likely not have BVI functioning in the next few years if we don't fix it now. So it's quite a challenge for us. We are looking at investing at least $500 million to deal with this, 500 million over 5 years. So we really, really need to find ways of having resources to deal with to secure the future of this company.
Era. What other new ventures or strategic areas of growth is VVI looking at going forward?
So what we are doing, Pauline, is that we have realized that the reason we are very prominent in SADC is because we exist within SADC. And we see that the same model, we should replicate it. For us to be dominant in the East, BVI should go and set up in the East. We must have an operation in the East. For us to be dominant in the West, BVI should go out and set up within the West. Those are the areas that we believe would support BVI to scale up and to grow. And when you look at those markets, even in terms of the number of livestock, they've got the largest. They've got millions. And they really need the products that we produce because they're having difficulties to have the benefit of what we're enjoying in SADC because we're able to control disease. We've got the right measures, we've got the right products to control these diseases. They don't have the right control, they don't have the right vaccines. So we believe that we can be of value if we exist within them and then we support them within the region. We believe that will catapult BVI to greater heights. So it's a really a strategic imperative for us that we have strategic production sites in regions other than the SADC region.
Oh, okay, are you at implementation stage or what in terms of that?
We are currently at the moment doing feasibility to see where is it viable, which country. We have to look at all the relations that we have with these countries. But I can say that we have had proactive interests from some of these countries wanting us to work with them from their countries. So we believe that these regions, and remember, they are also just like SADC, they are also regional blocks in terms of how they are organized. So we believe that we should be able to partner with such regions to support them much better than doing it from SADC only.
I understand there are also plans around antigens. Can you please shed more light on this? What are antigens?
Yes, antigen is the formulation of the vaccine when you have done almost 90% of the processes of production. Then you have that formulation that you have to now blend and then fill, and you now have the product. The challenges with vaccine production is that, especially FMD, it takes time. So you are talking of, if you are doing well, you are taking 2 to 3 months of production. And you would just imagine if we have an outbreak of a disease and the customer needs the product, will you afford to wait for 3 months before you avail the product? It's a challenge. That's what we are currently facing. So when you have the antigen bank, that becomes our storage. We want to be able to produce enough of this antigen, store it or bank it, as we call it, in readiness such that when we have emergencies, where, as you would have just imagined, South Africa has recently had, outbreaks that became an emergency for the country, and we had to respond. We're just fortunate that within the required period, we had product that was almost ready. Had we not, that situation would have gotten worse whilst we tried to produce for them. So we would really want to avoid such situations by ensuring that we have this antigen bank. This is going to be a very critical asset for Botswana Vaccine Institute, not only for us, even for the region of Africa, if I may put it. And we want to scale it up to a point where it is actually the largest antigen bank in Africa. And I must say, Pauline, even if we're talking about the largest, we are going to be the first manufacturer to have an antigen bank of this sort in Africa.
Okay, really interesting, and we hope it comes to pass there. So, and then finally, we can't end this discussion without talking about something that excited Botswana a few years ago, like human vaccines. Is it something that BVI is still considering? Where are we at the moment?
We are still considering human drugs, Pauline. I think of recent, we have also been experiencing challenges of availability of medicines. And we continue to believe that should you have your own capacity of production of some sort, you will be able to avoid some of the challenges that we have. We have done the feasibility study. It's complete. And we were doing it so that we can share it with government as a shareholder to express interest and to guide on how this can be approached as part of the solution that government can have options on. At the moment, I would say we are still in discussions with government to consider that. And we hope that it may be considered positively. Then we'll be able to take it to the next level.
All right. Any last words?
My last words, I think, for me is just to appreciate our board that has been very, very supportive. Our shareholder, we receive quite a lot of support. Even in other countries where we support them, our embassies support us quite well. And, our staff, very committed and very competent staff that support us to deliver the mandate of this institute, which is a very, very important mandate, Pauline, that I want Botswana to appreciate that BVI should be a national pride for them when they look at it, because of what it does to the country and how it represents the country in other countries as we supply these products.
So we have come to the end of our discussion, and thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much.
Le mo ikutlwetse Rre Madeswi gore Africa's life depends mostly in Botswana through BVI. Until next time, from me and my team, goodbye.
The Botswana story is one of transformation, the beating heart behind Botswana's evolution. More than a diamond mining company, it epitomizes exploration, innovation, and excellence. Every year, it pioneers responsible resource management, technological progress, and community upliftment, shaping our future. Botswana unearths opportunities, enabling education and livelihoods. Its legacy illuminates our horizons, guiding every Motswana towards a better tomorrow. Botswana, building a brighter future for Botswana, beyond diamonds.